In this video, we're going to count from 1 to 15 in the given bases. Well, base 10, that's not too bad. That's what we normally use. I'm going to try to make it look like a table, though. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hope I make it. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so now let's use the other bases. In base 6, you are only allowed to use the digits 0 through 5. So whatever the base is tells you also the number of symbols you have. So base 6 has 6 symbols, 0 through 5. So since we're starting off at 1 here, these will look the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we've hit the top. Since we've hit the top, that means it has to reset, which means 5 goes back to the smallest number, would be 0, and there is a 0 in front here of that 5, which we don't write, and that goes to a 1. Another way to think about that is, let me draw some zeros here, and I might need another 0 there. Okay, very good. And so let's see, 3, 4, 5. So you want to think about this as an odometer. Now in cars, they're electronic, but in the old days, they used to be dials. So you have a dial for the ones place, so the number furthest to the right. And then you have the dial for the next place over. So keep that in mind. Okay. So the dial will rotate. It'll start at 0, 0, which you would just read as 0. Then this dial, the rightmost dial, rotates to 1, to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5. But again, in base 6, 5 is the last digit. So when 5 comes around, what comes after that digit would be 0. And then once this dial has made once the rightmost dial has made a full rotation, then it makes the next dial over increment, meaning rotate in this case, or add 1 to. So what comes after 0? 1. So this entire time, this block here, only the right dial is rotating. Once it's made its full rotation, then it makes the left dial rotate. So it's been sitting still, the left dial, for the entire 0 through 5, the first instance. And now it just increments to 1. So then after 1, 0, and that's how that's pronounced, it's not pronounced 10. After 1, 0, you'd have 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, and now we're back to where we started. We hit 5, which is the largest digit. So 5 goes back to 0, which makes this dial rotate. What comes after 1? 2. 2, 0. 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, and we stopped there because they wanted us to only go up to 15. All right, we're going to do it again for base 3. The smaller the base, the more number of times the dials will rotate and more columns will change. You'll see that pretty soon here. So base 3 has 3 distinct digits, 0, 1, and 2. So we're starting off at counting with 1, so 1, 2. But in base 3, 2 is the largest digit. So as before, 2 resets back to 0. And the 0 that is in front of the 2 that we don't write now turns to 1. So this is pronounced again 1, 0. And we keep going on. 1, 0, 1, 1 for 4, 1, 2 for 5. And now, yet again, we've hit the largest digit with a 2. So 2 goes back to 0. And that makes this column rotate to 2. 2, 0. So 2, 0 for 6. 2, 1 for 7. 2, 2 for 8. And now here comes the fun. 2 is the largest digit, the one on the right there. 2 goes back to 0, which makes this 2 rotate. What comes after 2 in base 3, in terms of the dial, it's another 0, which makes this 0 that was in front of these 2's rotate. What does that rotate to? I really can't hear you. I hope you're saying 1. So sorry for the squishiness, but now that's 1, 0, 0. And then I'm going to have to write diagonally because I didn't make enough room. So then after 1, 0, 0, we'll have 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 2. But again, 2 is the largest, so where does 2 go back to? It goes back to 0, which makes this 0 rotate to a 1. But since that was not at the highest, does the leftmost column rotate at all? No, it stays as a 1. Just like in a base 10 system, if we had the number 439, what comes after the number 439? You would just say 440. So 9 is the highest digit in base 10. 9 goes to 0, which makes this column increment to a 4. But since 3 wasn't the highest digit, that does not affect this column whatsoever. You only, basically you're carrying, just like when you're doing it with addition. Basically, you only carry when you've hit the largest digit in that type of base. So after 1, 1, 0, we have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Again, 2 is the largest digit. 2 goes to a 0, which makes this one change to a 2. But since that middle number there was not at the max, it does not change the leftmost number, 1, 2, 0. So again, the base dictates the number of unique symbols you have. And when you are counting, whenever you hit the largest digit of that base, that's when you have to carry over to the next column over. And as we saw when we went from 2, 2 to 1, 0, 0, you might have to carry twice, just like if you had 99 to 100, that became a 3-digit number, because 9 and 9 is the highest digit in base 10.